Hey everyone, welcome back to the range. My name is Matt, also known as the King of Armor Destruction, the Armor Wizard Zap, and we have an ammunition review today with one of my favorite bullets, at least I use it a lot for armor testing, 5.56 NATO. What's special about this guy is it's M855A1, the enhanced performance round, the U.S. Army's current issue ball round all the way down to basic. Let's throw this guy on the table and talk about what we're going to do today. We've used M855A1 and M80A1 extensively over the last many years for different types of testing, but I don't think I've actually done a dedicated review for the different velocities through our barrel lengths. We have a 7.5 inch all the way up to and including 22. After we've done that, we'll step out to around 100 yards to see what this load is capable of accuracy-wise out of a few different barrel lengths. We'll start with our 7.5 inch. This is our PSA SBR. They've been a huge support to the channel, mainly because they have a wide array of uppers for me to choose from. Nice. Now our 10.5 inch upper, again from Palmetto State Armory. We have Q's trigger in here, a SIG Tango MSR. Oops, let's not do that again. Looks like I might have broke my little thing here. And now our 14.5 inch, this is from Pro 2A Tactical, been a fairly solid upper that we put through a lot of testing. And now for our 16 inch, this is our Springfield Hellion or Croatian VHS-2 rifle. It is a bullpup. I like that you can configure it to eject from either the left or right hand side so we can keep some of that gas out of our face. Now we're getting into the long boys. This is our 20 inch upper. This was the PSA Premium with the FN double chrome line barrel. I think I finally put it on a better lower on this guy. And now for the Armor Slayer. This is our 22 inch TC Compass, known for maximum velocity. This has a 1 in 9 twist barrel. Here is our M855A1 at 100 yards. We're using the TC Compass with a 16 power first focal plane scope. A little bit of wind today, 45, 50 degrees. Got the JK Armament rifle kit on there. Our first group was our best at 1.720 inches. We had 3 really close right there, and then for whatever reason 2 walkers. And then kind of the same thing over here. The second group, 2.814 inches. We had 3 good ones right here, and then 2 walkers. As a comparison, out of the same gun, here's a Mark 318 Mod 1. We had a 2.167 group and a 3.238. Like, this was the first one right there. And then, I don't know if the wind caught it or if I just pulled it. And then those 4 were very respectable. Not too shabby for a military loading, if I do say so myself. We also shot the Springfield Hellion or Croatian VHS-2, 100 yards, turbo T3 suppressor setting, a 6 power second focal plane scope on the same day as a 22 inch, 1.623 inches. I'd say that's very respectable, again, for a military ball loading. Since we had some of this left over, I wanted to see what some of our shorter barrel lengths could do. This is our 14.5 inch from Pro 2A Tactical, 100 yards. We're in a lead sled on a bench, very secure, 55 degrees. I can see this target very clearly using an 18 power first focal plane scope from Primary Arms, 2.311 inches. That seems to be about par for the course. We shot some Mark 318 Mod 1 from the same gun at 2.630 inches. I would say not too shabby, pretty much good for ball ammo. Definitely not, you know, quote unquote match grade quality, but I would say that's better than our run-of-the-mill US M855. I think while we have the opportunity with our M855A1, we should test it against some clear ballistics gel. Now, I have tested it in the past out of the 22 inch, and it provided very excellent penetration and fragmentation. We've got our 10% clear ballistics gel block down there, 6x6x16. Got the high speed going. Today is the day of the solar eclipse, 4/8/2024. So if we don't get a chronograph reading, you can blame the sun and the moon. Got a velocity reading. Please forgive me if the block is cloudy. I am a poor, starving YouTube artist. These blocks are very expensive and I usually have to buy them. This is downright amazing performance. We have almost an instantaneous neck. We have fragmentation starting right there, going out to about the 3-inch mark. You can see some more disruption here. Around the 7-inch mark is another fragment. And this is going to be hard to see, but we create a second wound channel, and all the way out to the 11.5 inch, 12-inch mark is our penetrator tip. He's down there. Look, we got all the way out past the 15 and 16-inch mark, 17-inch. There is our core and the rest of the jacket. We'll dig those out of there and make sure that core is somewhere in there, but that is simply amazing performance from a 7.5 inch. Someone will have to drop a dope chart or something in the comments below on what range that equals, but dang, that's amazing performance. Again, this is why I personally feel M855A1 is one of the top picks for good terminal effect against barriers and soft tissue in our 5.56. Just as a confirmation, again, here is our wound track. Here is our tip. And then there is our core and rest of the jacket. So that is still able to make it all the way to our bare minimum penetration depths. And we're providing 2 separate wound channels. I like it. Now we'll take a shot out of the 10.5 inch. The more we increase velocity, the more insane this thing gets. Again, instantaneous neck right there, and we have fragmentation. Now, it is argued that sometimes that fragmentation does not aid in our wounding because that is shallow, but we're starting to create multiple wound tracks again. We've got fragmentation out to the 7-inch of our core. Our nose again, our penetrator, leaves the block up here, and all the way out to the 12-inch mark. He's right there. Nice. Now, our little core this time from the 10.5 inch, you can see he settles down, and we actually get all the way out to the 25-inch mark. Very impressive. That's a little excessive for that core, but that still means we're carrying a significant amount of mass out to our minimum penetration depths of 12 inches up to about 18. So that's a little more than we need, but that amount of violent fragmentation throughout our entire wound path up to the 16-inch mark is very impressive from a 10.5 inch. Now we'll grab a shot from the 16-inch. Blocks are jumping even with them stacked on top of each other. I know, I'm sorry, I can't see the block very well. We're losing sun from behind us. But we've got instantaneous neck again, and we've got a lot of fragmentation occurring out to about the 4-inch mark. It looks like from our wound track, we're seeing less of the jacket being carried out through the 16 inches. It's being mostly dumped here in the first 4 to 5, but that wound track in the middle is pretty gnarly. And then right around the 6-inch mark, you can see a wide bubble there. That steel penetrator comes up here, and he's right there, right around the 16-inch mark. Our core, again, made it all the way out to right around the 22, 23-inch mark. So we're providing very, very deep penetration and very nasty wound cavities. Just for giggles, I'm going to fire one round of M855A1 out of the 22-inch barrel. Velocity 3159. This is the sick part of M855A1, especially out of a 22-inch barrel. That is almost an instantaneous neck with a fair bit of fragmentation going on there. We penetrate the entire 16 inches of this block. The bullet, you can see that little path right there. That's the core, still penetrating, and it ends up all the way back here. Tons and tons of penetration. Now, here's a side shot. There is the steel tip penetrating down to right around the 14.5-inch mark, base forward. That's unreal. I'm not sure if William or Andrew or anyone's ever done a 22-inch barrel with the M855A1 in clear ballistics gel. Hopefully it looks pretty cool in the high speed. There you guys go. That's what I pulled out of our gel blocks. These cores and penetrating tips still provide a significant amount of mass to get to our penetration depths, and that's what we need. It would appear, though, once you get towards the 16-inch, you're losing a little bit of that fragmentation ability to carry those fragments throughout that wound channel. But I think the copper core and the penetrator make up for that, especially if you're able to defeat barriers more easily as well. Well, folks, there you have it. Solid numbers out of a 62 grain load. Now, again, it was around 50 degrees outside when we tested these, and most of our 5.56 loads tend to lose a little bit of velocity when we get under around 75 degrees. Usually when we get above that, we can see over 3,200 feet per second from this load from our 22-inch. As far as our accuracy goes, I would say that's right in line with a ball round. You know, we're not seeing our Mark 262-like accuracy out of this, but we're not seeing broadside of the barn accuracy. I would say run-of-the-mill. Didn't have any reliability issues. This was 2023 lot that I actually picked up from Hogaholics. My Patreon supporters helped donate funds to purchase that. A big thanks to Stephen D for throwing some money that way. As far as our gel results go, at least in clear gel, I'm of the opinion that this is probably one of the top picks for ideal terminal performance, at least against an adversary in self-defense, personal protection, especially when barriers are concerned. Now, our results could vary in organic gel, but Andrew over at the choppingblock/ar15.com has extensively tested various barrel lengths with our M855A1 over the years in organic gel, and it is a very good performer even in that as well. With all that being said, it's time for me to get the heck out of here, but at the end of all my videos, I take a moment to thank all those who help make these possible, because there's a lot that goes into them. Number one is my family. They're out here helping me today. They come out here a lot and do random things to help me out. Number two is my Patreon subscribe star and YouTube channel memberships. I have a link tree in the description below with various different ways to contact and support me. My son would like to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel for more content. Number three is Stephen D. Again, in full transparency, he is one of my Patreon supporters, and he threw a little bit of extra cash our way so we could buy some of that from Hogaholics to do a full-fledged review on, so we had one particular lot. Of course, number four is you all for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you at the range.